Welcome, everyone. Today, we're going to talk about the 6 steps to a money-making marketing plan. If you are not familiar with this particular webinar system, you're able to enter any questions. You can type them on the chat room. I can see them to the right of the screen. I also suggest, guys, if you have any other windows, any internet windows open, to close them, as it would affect the bandwidth. So it might have a bigger of a delay. All right, so if you guys can hear me, just type something in the chat room, and we'll get started in a few minutes. All right. As usual, I'm going to present to you, I'm going to share the 6 steps to making a marketing plan. So these are actionable steps. So if you guys want to grab something to write with, go ahead and do that. And I'll also present you a file that has what I use for creating a marketing plan. All right, so everybody can hear? Okay, awesome. Thank you, guys. Let's get started. All right, so who am I? For those of you that don't know me, I own Encore Romance Travel. I am a romance travel specialist. This is my website. And I've been selling romance travel for about 4 years. I was engaged while deployed to Iraq, and I couldn't find a travel agent to help me. And so when I returned back stateside, I decided that that's what I wanted to do. So I knew exactly what I wanted to do when I came in. Further, I specialize in exotic beach destinations. I sail a lot of Maldives, the South Pacific, Fiji, which is where I honeymoon, and anything exotic. So I am also starting to help other travel agents. I have a background in fashion design and entrepreneurship. And I've been helping other travel agents for the last couple of years, and I decided to just go ahead and create something a little bit more structured. You know, you guys, most of you have been in my marketing group, so you all know that obviously that is the one part of the business that many agents have or need a lot of help with. We get into this business, and like me, I didn't realize that this was a selling business. And so I made a lot of costly mistakes. I wasted a lot of money. And I finally have gotten to the point where I am getting the type of clients that I want to book. And so I am now, because I've achieved that level, I would like to show you guys, especially the ones coming in or getting into a new niche, how I did it. And I went from booking anything and everything to booking, you know, $8,000 trips or honeymoons, the latest $15,000 and $20,000 trips. And so my motto is that I need to work with better quality clients as opposed to with more clients. So that's what I hope that you guys aspire to do as well. All right, so do you need a marketing plan? All right, guys, if you can't hear me, if you're having any audio problems, try closing some of your internet windows if you have one too many internet windows open. That way you won't buffer as much and you'll have a little bit better bandwidth. And there might also be a little bit of a delay. Okay, all right, so do you need a marketing plan? Some people don't have one. I absolutely believe that you need to have one in place. I've asked many times that question in the group, and most people don't have one because they don't know where to even begin. We're just gonna do it simple, and you know, as long as you have a plan, it can be a one-page spreadsheet, it can be a one-page, you know, notebook paper that you just ripped. Just have something in place that you can follow. Again, that's once I figured out my secret sauce, my formula, that's how my bookings obviously got better. They didn't get more. I got better quality bookings. All right, so step number one, you have to know your ideal client, right? I've been harping on this and talking about it. I even have a free worksheet on my website, on the new website, the Travel Biz Stylist website, where you can download, and you can, it's a 10-page, so basically 10 pages on how to get to know the ideal client. Why is it important? You need to know where they eat. You need to know where they hang out, because obviously you want to advertise or market where they hang out. We don't have a limited budget, so we need to narrow our focus. How do they respond to your marketing efforts? How do they call you? Did they call you because you sent them a postcard? Or did they call you because you posted something on Facebook or Instagram? Or you met them at a trade show or a consumer show? You know, again, how do they buy? Do they buy because you sent them a catalog in the mail, one of the brochures that we have, the suppliers give us? If they buy online, which social media channels are they on, you know? So you need to know them. You need to know them to the T. Okay, step two. What are your goals? Do you want to increase your sales? And if so, you know, if you want to make $100,000 in sales or $500,000 next year in sales, you have to break it down into smaller chunks, right? Like it's like eating an elephant, one bite at a time. But you have to make those goals manageable. So you're going to break that into monthly goals. And so that way, you know, okay, this is how much effort I have to put in this month in order to hit my goal. The second bullet, decide how you would meet that goal. So for example, if you have a goal that month, what are you going to focus on? Is it going to be increase your website traffic? Is it going to be a direct mail campaign? Are you going to do a show? How are you going to do it? And then what other goals do you have besides a sales goal? Do you want to increase your followers on social media? Do you want to increase your engagement, which many people say it is much more valuable than likes, right? So if they're engaging with you and they're responding, then obviously that's much more worth it than having a bunch of likes that never hear from you. Is your goal to master another social media channel? Is your goal to create and finish a project you've been thinking about doing? All right. So what are your goals? All right. Now, step three, you'll write down what is your marketing mix. Now, this is where we start getting into the weeds. What has worked in the past for you? Look at your last year. What did you do? Or for example, this year, what has worked for you? Did your direct mail, and when I say direct mail, I do a combination. I do supplier catalogs, and I do postcards, supplier postcards. You know, if you go to some of the cruise lines, they will send you blank postcards on the back, and you can just handwrite a note to a client. And then you also have those direct mail that you can buy from your host agency or consortia, where you submit your list and they automatically send it out. The message is not as personable, but it kind of does the trick to keep your clients or leads top of mind. So did that work last year? Did social media work for you last year? Did that consumer show that you did last month, did it work for you? Did you get any bookings from it? And if it worked, are you going to do it next year? And if it didn't work, then obviously you need to be looking at different consumer shows for next year. I like to do a mix. For example, I will do, I just moved to a new town, so in a new state, so I'm not sure what. So far, the landscape here is that the bridal shows are much more expensive than when I came from. Where I came from, I would do about 4 or 5 bridal shows a year. And obviously, most of them are in January. And based on my email responses and what I've booked, I can tell which ones were successful and which one didn't, you know, I didn't make any bookings from. So the ones that I was successful, obviously, those are the ones that I'm going to do next year. The ones that didn't pay anything, I didn't get a booking from, I don't plan on doing again. Again, did you buy ads on Facebook? Did you get any bookings out of it, or any likes, or did you meet your goal with those ads? Now, based on obviously who your clients are, since you know them so well, you know exactly where they hang out. You know that they have a Facebook page, but they don't really update there. They don't hang out on Facebook. They might be millennials and they're more on Instagram. And so maybe your goal is to include Instagram as part of your marketing mix next year. Maybe you want to have a presence on Twitter, but they're really not on Twitter. So just have a presence, but don't spend a lot of time there, because we don't have a lot of time to be on everything. And then decide how often you will use each channel. So again, are you going to do these consumer events twice a year? Obviously, these are the more pricier marketing events. And then direct mail, how often do you want to do it? Direct mail is expensive as well. You know, the price of postage adds up. And if you have 300 people to mail something to, obviously that adds up. So how often do you want to do it? Handwritten notes once a month. Daily postings on social media, again, weekly. So you break it down from quarterly, yearly, quarterly, monthly, and then daily. So daily will be, I don't know, posting on social media. Weekly will be blogging, a blog once a week, and then use that blog in your email, and you send out an email once a week. It depends on your audience. If, for example, my brides, I know exactly when they're getting married. So I know that I have a year or less to market to them. So for them, my marketing efforts are going to be much more consistent, much more closer. So weekly emails, monthly direct mail. And so what I like to do is I will use a supplier-driven direct mail campaign, say postcards that they gave me, or the direct mail program from my host agency where they send it to everybody on my list once a month. It's the cheapest way to get a mass campaign because I can't beat that price. So I will do that. It's not personable, but based on how many of those brides are opening my emails on a monthly basis, I can tell which ones are my my top leads. I call them cherry picking. So what I do is once a month, those brides that are really opening my emails, and they open those emails frequently and more than once, because I already have their address, I'm gonna send them a big mailer. What I do is I get brochures from tour operators that don't have prices and they don't sell to the public. For me, I choose TI, Travel Impressions, because they don't sell to the public directly. So I send them a package, a big orange envelope, because orange is my branded color. Just a second, sorry. I had a little puppy begging to get out of here. So I'll send them a large orange envelope with a big supplier brochure. It has so many properties, it's so overwhelming, and that's on purpose. Then I send them a handwritten note card that says, hey, I know you want to go to the Caribbean for your honeymoon. You know, call me and let's go over all of these properties and let me help you make sense of it all. Because getting a catalog, it's a huge catalog in the mail with, 500 properties is overwhelming. I'm not helping their decision at all, but I want them to call me. And it's a large orange envelope so they can't miss it on the mail. Their address is handwritten, so they know, okay, this was in a machine. Somebody actually intended to mail me this. And then that note, I actually have had brides email me or call me as a result of it. And one of them, I remember telling me, wow, nobody mails anything handwritten anymore. And they really appreciate it. At the beginning of the year, I had postcards made with calendars on the back of it, calendars for the year. And so I would send them one of those. And that way they had me, my contact information, and something they could use, and they kept seeing me, my logo and my name. So that's what I mean by direct mail. There were kind of like different levels of direct mail. And that's what I also mean by handwritten notes. So your top leads, because obviously I have brides. Now, for past clients that I know are probably are not in a hurry to take that vacation, then I will probably won't email them every week. I will probably email them either twice a month or once a month. I will still do once a month direct mail. So I just want to stay top of mind. So when they get ready to plan their anniversary trip or any other trip, they can still call me. Obviously, I still book those kinds of trips. I just don't market it as well, as much. All right. And so then the last one, choose what works and don't feel pressure to do it all. We know we get those webinars on, and you got to be on Facebook and you got to be on Pinterest and the brand new shiny thing. Ello, for example, just came out last month. I'm already on it, trying it out. But it's a new social media channel that they promise they won't have advertisers. So it's like one more thing, Now it's like, I don't know, 6, 7 that I'm on. I'm just trying it out. I highly doubt that I'll ever get clients from there, but that's not what works for me. For me, Pinterest and Instagram works for me. That's where brides are. So don't feel pressure to do it all. Just focus on 1 or 2. All right, number 4, create your marketing message. Because, guys, if you are just joining us now, don't worry, this is being recorded and you will get a replay link after the webinar is over. So just hang tight, get the rest of it, and you can catch what you miss immediately after. All right. So create your marketing message because you know who your ideal client is. You know what their pain points are. We discussed that on the last webinar. So you know that you have, in my case, I have a couple that their main issue or their main pain point is the fact that they are planning a wedding. They're dealing with 2 sets of parents that are trying to impose what they want on the wedding. And the honeymoon is really the only thing that they are looking for because it's the only thing that they're having complete control over. I've had clients sit down with me and they're like, the bride is like, look, I lost control over the wedding. It's become what my mom wants and it's become what my mother-in-law wants. And we're looking forward towards the honeymoon because it is just what we want. Like, we have complete control over the honeymoon. So that's their pain point. The fact that they are under so much pressure to plan this wedding. They are under pressure to make it all fit in their budget if they're paying for it. They are under pressure that they don't have a lot of time to take off time from work to both spend time at the wedding, preparing for the wedding, and take a nice honeymoon. So my clients, their biggest pain points are budget, time, and location. They have so many choices. They don't know, okay, this is like my once in a lifetime honeymoon. I don't know, I have to make it special. And I don't want to do what my cousins or my friends did, even though secretly they really want to go there, but they just refuse to go there because somebody else went there, which is really funny, but true. So my marketing is going to address the fact that I am going to make it painless and I am going to make it seamless and I am going to arrange everything for them. The only thing they have to do is make sure the passports are right, they show up on time, and they take off. They don't have to worry about anything. So when I do direct mail, I always say, if you're stressed, if wedding planning has you stressed, you can't afford to be stressed about the honeymoon, give me a call, I'll take care of it for you. My blog posts are going to address budgets. For example, I did a series of blog posts with different price ranges. And boy, that was so popular. It's so very popular on Pinterest. My emails are going to have planning tips or destination highlights. That way it gives them some idea. So that's how I cover all of my clients' pain points, or the top 3 pain points. So I suggest, again, you write those 3 columns with the pain points, and under it, just write any kind of topic that you can think of. Make it series. Like do a series of, make a series of 10, 10, for example, top 10 tips to plan whatever trip, and make it a series. Do it on, if you do it on Facebook, make 1 tip every day. Now you've covered 10 days worth of postings. Or in 5 days, do 2 tips a day. On emails, do a 3-part series, and that way you've covered 3 weeks worth of emails or blog posts. And then position yourself as an expert. Be an expert on something and let them know that you are the expert because you have visited, you have seen it, you know all about it. And then what sets you apart from the competition without being negative, without putting the competition down. People look down on that. When you start being kind of catty and start saying, well, my competition, or I don't do this like my competition, you know, there's no need for that. Just say what sets you apart. What sets you apart is that the fact that you are an expert because this is all you do and you know them inside and out. I know Puerto Rico because I am a native Puerto Rican and I visit there every year, and I stay on top of all the hotel openings on the island. And I can tell you exactly how you need to move around, you know, that kind of thing. All right, 5, develop your strategy. Okay, now that you have goals, how are you going to make them happen? Are you going to increase traffic to your website? If you're going to do that, how are you going to do that? Are you going to learn a little bit about SEO? Are you going to post in different websites with a link to your website? When you post on social media, are those posts are going to take people back to your website? That's how you increase the traffic, right? How are you going to capitalize on your FAMs in your marketing? This is a big one. I love to market my FAMs because people want to see that you have been there and that you understand them and that you can relate. So what I do is the email before I go on a FAM, I email everybody on my client list, my leads and my clients, and I tell them, hey guys, I'm going to be on a FAM. I'm going to Fiji, for example. Follow me on Instagram for up-to-date pictures as I inspect the properties. And this is going to be my hashtag. So follow this hashtag. All right. Same thing when I went to the Dominican Republic and I was posting pictures of all these wedding setups. So capitalize on it. Post everywhere that you're going to be in a FAM and follow the hashtag, or follow your post on Facebook, or follow your blog post. For me, Instagram has been much easier to use on a FAM because it's just a matter of stopping there and taking pictures. And we are already taking a million pictures on a FAM. So I just take up my phone, take a picture, upload it on Instagram with my hashtag, and I keep moving. It doesn't require a lot of bandwidth. You just need to have a little bit of Wi-Fi and you can do it in a second, as opposed to finding a place to sit down to write a blog. So for me, Instagram works awesome. And then people want to see pictures. That's the reason why people post pictures on Facebook, because they want to show off where they are, right? So that's exactly what the whole purpose behind Instagram is to show off, because we are that kind of society, right? That we want to show off what we're doing, what we're eating, where we travel, what we're wearing, so you name it. And then develop a system to follow up. So if you did a consumer show, how are you going to follow up? If you went on a FAM, are you going to follow up with your list and tell them, or in my example, for example, in my case, I know where when brides go to my shows, I know where they want to honeymoon in, because I always ask the top 3 bucket list destinations or honeymoon destinations. And so if I had people that wanted to go to Fiji, guess what? As soon as I get back, those are the first people that I'm going to go back and I'm going to email them and say, hey, Rosie, I just got back from Fiji. Let me show you. Let me go ahead and read my blog post, look at my pictures, and let's talk about it, because I know exactly, there's a property in mind for you that I know exactly where you're going to have a good time, and I can send you. So call me, or I'll call you next week. And then how would I meet every single goal? Going back to all my goals. So go ahead and develop a strategy for every single goal you have, because if your goal was to increase your followers, then how are you going to do that? Are you going to take ads? Are you going to create a joint venture with another business and maybe interchange posts, and that way you guys can follow each other, or get your followers to follow each other? So develop your strategy. All right, 6, set your budget. Now this is the hard one, because a lot of people just don't know what they don't know. If you've never done this before, you won't know how much it's going to cost you. So costs, you can go by what you spent this year. For example, each strategy you develop, for example, you did a consumer show. How much did it cost you? Not just a show, but how much did it cost to print material? How much is it costing you for the email program that you pay them every month? How much is it costing you for stamps, for direct mail, for my big orange envelopes? The ones I like are pretty expensive, So write everything down and decide, okay, this is how much you have set a year to do everything you would like to do. Now, how are you going to pay for it? And then if you need to cut costs, then goes to my next bullet. Look at supplier provided materials. So if you don't have the money to have everything custom printed, then go to Travel Impressions and order a bunch of brochures that are free to you. They even mail them free. And then just put some labels with your name and mail that out. Postcards, I love to get celebrity or cruise line postcards, because they'll send them to you blank, and I can just write something and mail it out. Something's better than nothing. So I may not be able to get my beautiful custom design postcards, but I can at least put that seed, plant that seed that, hey, it's travel. And you can plant the seed on somebody that, everybody's always thinking about a getaway. Everybody's stressed. So send that postcard with that cruise and say, hey, I'm thinking about you, and, thought about, there's this brand new cruise ship coming out, or a brand new destination. You should check it out. Call me. Research co-op opportunities with your preferred supplier. I have never done co-op, so I really can't tell you all the intricacies about it, but call them. If you do a lot of business with a supplier, they'll be glad to say, hey, we'll do this, we'll do ads, or we'll sponsor your booth, or cover half of your booth at a bridal show or consumer show, or even have come and help you with during the show. And then ask other people, hey guys, do you guys know of a specific, email program that it's, $10 a month or something like that, just network and ask other agents that have been successful what they do, so that you can try and find the best, the better cost for you. All right, and then create a spreadsheet. So hang on one second. I'm going to show you a spreadsheet that I created for you guys. All right, so can everybody see the spreadsheet? Just say yes. Type in yes. So this is a spreadsheet that I created by quarter. And it has, so offline marketing, ads. Hold on one second, I can't see it all. So it has print ads. If you do print ads, radio, TV. Honestly, the costs involved with those ads are incredible. So I don't know who does them anymore unless it's a huge agency. Outdoor ads, direct mail, obviously. Okay, awesome. Direct mail, other advertising. Press releases, networking. So if you go to any events, trade shows, customer loyalty. So referrals. If you give people referrals, then obviously you'll send them a little something. That costs money, right? Event marketing costs marketing just because. And then online, your website updates, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter. If you notice at the top, I have frequency. So how often are you going to do that? And then my goal is my goal to increase, for example, my Facebook followers. And then details by month, which all fall under the first quarter. The details, the cost, the results. So if you have a campaign for something that you're doing at the end of the year or mid-year, then you can just say, hey, well, that's my campaign. So for example, I also use a backwards plan. So in the third or fourth quarter, I'm going to do a bridal show. So leading up to that bridal show, how much, for example, direct mail are you going to do to make sure that you get people to show up? If you are having a FAM, we do a lot of FAMs in the end of the second quarter, beginning of the third quarter, and then in the fourth quarter. There always seems to be a lot of FAMs, end of the November, early December, and then June, July, August. So if you know you have a FAM, a big FAM, then why don't you backwards plan and start preparing people? Say you're going to the Dominican Republic in June. So maybe in April and May, I'm going to start talking about that destination, and I'm going to, do a blog post, and I'm going to post about it on social media. And in June, I'm going to talk about it. So that'll be like my Dominican Republic campaign for the second quarter. And I will focus all of my efforts in that destination, and I'll create different blog posts that address the pain points by using that destination. All right. And then at the end, you have it by month. So you have it all the way to the month. Now, this, you can do it like this, guys. You can do a simple one-page, scratch sheet paper, and okay, this is what I need to do. Whatever works for you. So this may work for some people. This may not work for everybody. So just create something that works for you, that is easy for you. And electronic calendars don't work for me, so I usually have to print this and put it on my board, and I have to look at it. All right. So I want to stop real quick here and ask you guys, do you guys have any questions? Just go ahead and type them. I am getting requests to email the spreadsheet, and yes, I will email it at the end of the day. I'll send you guys an email with the link to the file, and you guys can download it. Okay, if it helps you. And then you can just customize it, make it however it works. All right. I'll pause for a second just to see if there are any questions. The new thing is mobile marketing. Don't know if you guys have seen it, where you can text specials to your clients. You can text them with links to something. I've gotten I am signed up with a couple of stores. I just had a brand new baby, and I think there's a store called, it's like the baby store similar to Toys R Us. No, it's Bye Bye Baby, actually. Bye Bye Baby. And they text me. I sign up with them, and they text me special saying, hey, here's a 20% off coupon. Click on this link, and it expires this day. So that's the new thing. I'm not sure how that works with travel, because obviously, travel is a lot more personalized. I highly doubt that you can just say to somebody, there's a special for the Dominican Republic, here it is, and they're going to buy it, without you qualifying them and, and making sure that they are the right clients for that trip. Okay, so let me go through the questions really quickly. All right. Jamie asks, what's the name? Could you spell it, please? Jamie, could you type again the name of what it is that you need? Cheryl is asking, do I use something like Hootsuite to post on various social media sites? I do. I have used Hootsuite in the past, especially when I'm on the FAM, because I don't have time to type in every single social media channel. And some people kind of frown upon seeing the same thing at every social media channel. It's completely up to you. Again, my clients are not in Twitter and Facebook and all of these other channels, so they are not seeing my message more than once. But yes, Hootsuite is a huge time saver, unless you're using like Instagram, which you have to use Instagram to post, and Pinterest, which you also have to be on Pinterest to use it as well. The new social media that I was talking about was Ello, ELLO.co. Okay, got it, Jamie. Thank you. It's Ello. It's still in beta, and it is by invite only. I don't have any invites left. It's very clean. If you guys go to it, ELLO.co. Typing it in the chat room. It's very plain. I think it goes back to just type in to socialize with other people. I think you can actually make interest groups, but it's literally conversations. So it's a good, if you have a group of people. For us, it works great as travel agents because we're always socializing with each other, sharing information. So basically, you just type. It's black and white. I mean, the font is like those old typewriter fonts. So it's very to the point, very clean. It remains to be seen what becomes of it. Especially now that there are so many channels. The younger generation seems to be more, the millennials at least, they are on Facebook, but a lot of them are on Instagram. And of course, if they're planning a wedding or they're a brand new mom or they are artists or photographers, they are probably on Pinterest. Or they're very crafty. If they're very crafty, into craft, into fashion, they are on Pinterest because Pinterest is very visual. And Pinterest is an excellent point, an excellent avenue to share your blogs and get traffic back to your website. The younger generation, our teenagers, our college kids, are not so much on Facebook anymore. They're more on Twitter and on Instagram and something called Snapchat that I really don't play in it. So it's all about pictures for them. Our older generation, grandmas and mother-in-laws, and so they're still on Facebook. They're still keeping up with their friends on Facebook. It's amazing. I have my mother-in-law, which is in her 70s, mid-70s, is on Facebook, and all of her friends from church, and they're all my friends, and they keep tabs now on the baby and how she's growing, and excuse me. So it's amazing how that older generation is now so much into Facebook. My mother, she doesn't even call me. She just sends me a Facebook message now. All right. So I will send you guys a spreadsheet. If there are no other questions, just give me a second. Let me switch the screen back to the slides. All right. So just remember, your website in the end is your storefront, and all of your marketing efforts should go and point back to your website, whether it's direct mail, whether it's your emails, with your social media, brochures. I always have, I get labels, every labels, and I type in my name, my business name, and my website, and I stick it to the back of the label. As some people do it on the front. They put a big annoying round orange sticker to the front because you want people to make sure to flip it over or look at it and know how to contact you. Especially those brochures, supplier brochures that have, call your travel agent at. That's where you stick your label at, right? Excuse me. And then to recap. Step one, you have to know your client, right? That's the basic business method here. You have to know your clients. Second, what are your goals? What are your marketing goals? Then choose your marketing mix. A little bit of this, a little bit of that, until you get the right recipe. 4, create your marketing message. Develop your strategy. Set your budget. And one that I didn't include here, you have to be consistent. It takes time for these things to work. It's taken me months to figure out what works and what doesn't work. Email. Even when I think that people don't keep my emails or don't open emails, I have had brides reply to me to an email that I sent her 4 months ago, even though I've been emailing them weekly. So obviously they're saving these emails. Of course, they create emails just for these emails, but that's another story. But you have to be consistent. If you do one direct mail campaign and you don't get a booking, don't think that it's not going to work. It's just you need to reinforce that message through other means. So when you develop your campaign, you got to say, okay, I'm going to Dominican Republic. I'm going to make this Dominican Republic campaign. All right. So the first step, I'm going to start posting on social media. And then I'm going to do a blog post. And that blog post, I'm going to pin it on Pinterest. And I am going to use it on my email newsletter that week. And then I'm going to send them a direct mail postcard about that location. Then I'm going to go on the fam. And I'm going to post pictures of it. And then when I get back, I'm going to contact some suppliers to see what kind of specials are running for that destination. And I'm going to hit everybody upside the head with the special for that destination. All right. And you do it again and again and again until people tell you to stop. Because just like I said, just when you think that people are not listening to you, that's when just when you think that you are bugging your clients or your leads, that's when they start noticing. So 10 touches, that's when they start noticing you. The last step that I didn't list is consistency. You have to be consistent because it takes time. And if you're not consistent, you won't know what works and what doesn't work. I posted something on the Facebook group the other day about what kind of projects have we done that either we didn't finish or it didn't give us, any return. And a lot of those things is, we didn't follow up. We were not consistent. So you have to kind of hammer that point again and again and again. This is a business. So you cannot feel bad about marketing. This is what you have to do. This is how you pay your bills. And you want to have these ideal clients so that you're not up at 5 o'clock in the morning until 11 o'clock at night selling travel. You want to do more quality bookings as opposed to just more bookings, period. All right, so create your marketing message, develop your strategy, and set your budget. All right, and again, you can do this on your own. I am developing a new product. It's going to be a webinar series where we're going to do a webinar every 4 weeks starting October 27, where I'm going to give you worksheets. We're going to do it together. We're going to have a private Facebook group so that I can give you guys feedback and I can share more about each one of those different strategies. And I'll be sending more information about this. I don't have all the details yet, but it starts October 27. A webinar series, it'll be replayed. So if you cannot make it to the one webinar, you can always replay it on your own and you'll be able to catch up. All right, so you guys know how to contact me for that. So any questions about the slides, this webinar, any questions, period, about what has worked for me, Um, all right, so I have more questions here. So what do I mean, Janice? What do you mean by local search? I think I was talking about maybe consumer shows. So I look, obviously, just Google search, do local searches on any events that may be going on or may be happening in your area that are consumer based and you want to participate in. If you are adventure travel, obviously you're going to look for a sports show of any kind, or any sport events, any sporting events. If you are a cruiser, you want to do river cruises, so you probably are going to look for your wine stores and maybe your clients that drink a little bit more wine or a little bit more sophisticated. Where do they eat? That kind of thing. My email address is Brenda, BRENDA, at travelbizstylist.com. There it is at the bottom. I'm also on Facebook. Just send me a message on Facebook or the marketing channel. Do I know if there are any all-inclusive resorts in Puerto Rico? Unfortunately, no. For different reasons. And I'm a little bit biased, but not entirely. But Puerto Rico is an island. It's a destination in itself. If Puerto Rico had all-inclusive resorts, they're part of the U.S., so the liquor is taxed. It would not be profitable at all to have an all-inclusive resort in Puerto Rico because of the taxes they have to pay, the minimum wages that they have to pay by federal law. So there is no way that they can be an all-inclusive resort without making a profit unless, the prices are, 5-star, 6-star prices. That's why you see all-inclusives in certain islands that are not, don't have those federal regulations for the most part. It'll be interesting to see what happens to the new all-inclusive in the Virgin Islands. But Puerto Rico it's a destination where you can either offer it to your clients looking for culture because of Old San Juan and all the history on the island, for your adventure-seeking clients because they have the second largest zip line in the world. They have 2 of the only 4 rainforest systems in the U.S. Forest system. They have 2 of 5 bioluminescent bays in the world. That's the bay where they can go at night and you can see it, the water is glowing. So because of all these things, when I create trips to Puerto Rico, if they have enough time, I let them stay in at least 2 different locations on the island. That way they can experience San Juan, which is a mandatory place, but they can see Old San Juan, and then they can explore the rainforest. They can explore the bioluminescent bay. They can explore the mountains along the middle of the islands. The largest radio telescope in the U.S., or actually I think it's the world, is in Puerto Rico in Arecibo. So if you have any techies or any science fiction fans, they can go see this huge radio antenna really sitting in Arecibo. And then now the island is being positioned as a luxury location because now they have a St. Regis, they have a Ritz that's only 2 Ritz in the world that are super expensive and exclusive. And they are opening up, they're talking about opening up a, my gosh, what's the name of that other chain? Anyway, it's a 4-star resort. So it's being positioned as a luxury location. It's actually a great family destination, but it is a la carte. So no all-inclusive, sorry. All right, so another question I see here is, how long does it take you to develop the right, did it take me to develop my marketing plan? Well, it took me years because I had to go right. My first 2-3 years in business were trial and error. for the last year, when I revamped my branding and my website, and there was a strategy to my website, that's when I kind of hit the right marketing mix for me. And my website was a big driving factor in that. Let's see. So it took me a lot of trial and error, but it was within the last year that it's actually working and paying off. All right. So will you send a client? Absolutely. Vieques is my favorite place on the island. You have to qualify your client carefully. Vieques is it's a little bitty island with the population is about 2,000 people. 3/4 of the island are natural resources, belongs to the natural resources and forestry system, because that's where the Marines used to do live bombings. So they're not going to encounter big stores, shopping malls, that kind of thing. It's going to be a lot of mom and pop restaurants and neighborhood grocery stores if they want to get out of the resort. But the beaches are unspoiled. They can, at any point, at any given time, your clients could be the only ones at that particular beach. So it's amazing. I love it there. If for a honeymoon or a family that wants to just go to a small hotel or resort and they want to just spend some time exploring the island, that'll be awesome. They can rent a Jeep and they can go around the island. That's awesome. Did I create my own website and design it? Yes. I did my own website. I obviously, my website now has gone through a bunch of iterations. Let me go back to that. This is the latest, and yes, again, trial and error. I learned how to do the copywriting. I learned how to market it, how to create a strategy to move people around the website. I try to change my, like right now I have a quiz, and that's to get people to sign up for my newsletter email. But I usually change that maybe every 2 months, and I'll do something else. The colors, the branding. I have a designer that I partner with for the new business that she hand sketch the encore. So that is a hand sketch, and she does the Travel Biz Stylist logo that you see at the bottom of the website or the slide. She also hand sketched that. So those are custom made logos, and we are working on creating new websites. We just finished a brand new website for another travel agent. It's classicfamilyjourneys.com. Just check it out. It's a beautiful website. Let me type it in here. Yeah, there you go. We redid her logo, and we also, let me see. Let me look it up real quick. We updated her logo and created her website. There it is. Okay, let me see if I can share it with you guys. Hold on just a second. Okay, let's see here. Just a second, I am bringing it up. Oops. All right, so here's her website. So we updated her logo. We have here where you can sign up for the newsletter. We have an about her pool questions. Now, she did her own copy, so she had great questions, great copy. She has the large images, the contact at the top. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. I think, my beliefs is, guys, you're selling yourself. You're not selling a product. So your website should be all about you. Should have your story in all. Ideally, you should have a consultant type website where it showcases you, your experience, and your story. Not the cruise line. They have their own websites. People can go to a cruise line website and find all the information they need about that particular cruise. But you need to sell you, your expertise. So this is the latest we did, and we're very happy with it. She's very happy with it. All right, so let me get back to the slides. Sorry, guys. Oops, not sure if everybody heard that. I just realized I didn't press a particular button, but here's the website. Everybody can see it, right? We redid the logo. We have her newsletter sign up. We have her about me, the pool questions, contact information. And so that's what we do. We go through the branding process to make sure that you guys know all of this information, and you guys know exactly what to put in it as far as copy. And then the design part as well. Everything is custom. So we create everything. We created exactly what she needed. So this is actually, she's a luxurious, she does luxury family vacations. And I think you can tell by looking at the website that that's what she does. It looks very professional. All right, so I am going to go back to the slides, guys. Hold on one second. All right, there we are. All right, so Google Plus. Google Plus has a lot of potential. Unfortunately, it's not as popular as some of the other ones. But you should post on Google Plus because it helps you with your SEO. So when people do a search for your name or your agency or something that you wrote about, chances are that if you post it on Google Plus, there's a good chance that it's going to show up. Pinterest, believe it or not, is another place where it's very Google or SEO friendly. So when you do boards on Pinterest and you post images, make sure that you have very good descriptions with keywords because they also show up on Google. If you do a search on Google, a lot of times Pinterest comes right on top as well. All right. So any other questions, guys? I know we are right at the end of the hour, and I don't want to keep you guys. I really appreciate you guys coming today. If you guys have any questions that I did not address, please email me, send me a Facebook message, okay? And I will answer those. If you guys are interested in the webinar series, let me know. There is a cost to it because it's going to be kind of like an e-course, but it's going to be webinar based. And it's going to be much more interactive. And I'm hoping we can get a small group. We can all work on it together. And that way next year we can start it all together. If there are no other questions, guys, thank you so much for coming and giving me this hour today. I hope it was meaningful and you guys got some valuable nuggets out of it. And again, if you guys have any questions, you guys know where to find me. Thank you so much, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.